Hey, what up, YouTubers? It's your boy, the Cardtactician, and welcome to another episode of Gravekeepers and stuff. Um, what do I want to talk about? Okay. In general, as you're trying to play this game, you'll start to realize that every format there's a different sort of speed or power level within the decks that are being played. I'm starting to realize that the general theme of this format and probably the next format until they start to ban or limit some of the cards that are out now, is the theme of special summoning and speed specifically. That's ruling this format. As you look at spell books and as you look at dragon rulers along with mermails and constellars and evil storm, dark roll, and all that stuff, you start to realize that if you are not as fast as these decks, or if you do not special summon as fast as them to bring out some devastating stun monster, then you pretty much count it up, chalk it up to a loss and like move on. Period. And as a Gravekeeper player and a budget player, I realize that a lot of people who play budget decks or tier 2 decks tend to not be able to adapt to the format. Now, there's two ways to adapt or fight the format. Either you speed up your deck, or B, you make it so that your deck slows down the format. Period. Now what that means is that you play cards that pretty much stun your opponent. That's pretty much what stun does. Stun is basically, I'm going to slow your deck down because what I do affects the general mechanics of what your deck is supposed to do. Period. And as I look at Gravekeeper plays online, I realize they haven't made the adjustment. They haven't adapted, and more or less people are complaining like, damn, they cannot compete with all these other decks specifically. And I'm trying to tell you that there is a way to compete it. If you alter your deck and you build it so that either you're as fast as those decks that are in the meta, or you slow down or stun your opponent from being able to do stuff. And I believe I built some variant of a GK deck that's able to compete in the meta. Because it has the ability to slow down the meta and slow down the game, so that you can slow roll and beat them down. Starting off, Gravekeeper engine, spies. I've run 2 spies, 2 recruiter, 2 descendant, 3 commandant, Gravekeeper assailant, and 1 guard. With the spy, because of this format, spy is pretty much dead in the water. She can get killed real easy or popped. I've had too many situations where she just died right on the spot. So I said, you know what, as I was making the modifications to this deck to make this a sort of a anti-meta variant, I said, you know what, let me take 1 out to put in a new card, and you'll see what those new cards are specifically. And it's been working out okay. For some reason, I draw this more than when I had 3 spies in the deck naturally, period. I don't know how DN does that or whatever, but it's just weird. Assailant and guard. Considering guard is pretty much another spy and he's somewhat slow, I decided to test him out for now, but I'm leaning towards putting in just 2 Gravekeepers assailants just to see if I can draw him more, and just to give me another target to search with spy and put on the field. Well, not with spy, with Gravekeepers recruiter, and to see how it works out. But he's like top notch. Like, he gets rid of certain monsters that are pretty much dangerous or a problem for me that I can't deal with normally. So yeah, those are the Gravekeeper. That's the Gravekeeper engine. Now the 2 monsters that I'm running in the deck that makes it a stun variant is Jowgen the Spiritualist and Thunder King. Now Jowgen the Spiritualist is the stun monster of the format. He owns this format like 100%. I do not understand why Gravekeeper players specifically themselves who can make room in their deck do not play him. He stuns and destroys the format, bar none, period. If you run enough protection for him, you pretty much slow down the meta so much that your opponent won't be able to deal with him, and they'll try everything in their power to focus on taking out Jowgen. And if you run the right protection, then you pretty much won the game. Thunder King, pretty much the second MVP of this deck. He slows down spellbooks. He's pretty much, he stops spellbooks, and Jowgen takes out dragon rulers. But pretty much Thunder King takes out spellbooks, and just the fact that you contribute him to negate inherent special summons is pretty good. But it's really that first effect that really is the icing on the cake that a lot of people cannot deal with. And he pretty much just, I'm gonna stun spellbooks, and then they really can't do anything because most of their shit is revolving around, oh, I need to search my deck and I need to add these number of cards to my hand. He says, no, stop that. You add enough protection in your deck to protect them, then you're good. Then you have Necker Valley, Stel, Roy Tribute, Pot of Duality, Dark Hole, Book of Moon. The Royal Tribute, the only reason why I'm running the tributes because I hate tribute. Like in my other decks, I don't run tribute. I run like 2 pots and 2 Wonder Wands. Wonder Wand is my tribute. It's more versatile for me. It's not a dead card later on in the game because I can just equip it and it's a 500 boost and then I contribute the monster to draw 2 cards. But I'm running this now in this deck because it's pretty much the second engine. This is an engine. Like, literally, these 2 cards are an engine. You play this, and you play this, and you got Command It. That's an engine to destroy your opponent's hand. And then the second engine, and the reason why I think this is good now is because I'm running Jowgen, and I'm going to get to the other card that I combo with them in a second. So you have Dark Bribe, Starlight Road. This is actually supposed to be Huge Revolution is over. I just forgot to change the card. Solemn Judgment, Warning, Torrential Tribute. This is a format, it's a special form format, so tribute is like necessary. Like, I don't know why people aren't running multiples of this. I've heard people talk about, oh, I hate having a spy and having a torrential spy, and it's like, yo, whatever, yo. Like, let them summon a monster while your spy is there. They're going to attack. They attack your spy flips to get recruited, and you torrential, and you still plussed off of that, and he lost a card. You know what I mean? You broke even. And you need this. This basically says, you know, stop special summoning, stop trying to overextend, stop compulsory evac for those XYZ plays, synchro plays, and pretty much any problematic monster you need to get off the field. Same thing as evac, but it keeps it on the field. And the next card that I've been talking about online, and I've seen people pick it up, and because of the fact that I've been talking about it and posting on people's videos, this card's pretty good, is Gaga Shield. Now, Gaga Shield is basically a poor man's safe zone, and it has a couple of flaws, because number one, it doesn't make your monster completely immortal. Its effect is basically up to twice per turn. That monster is protected from being destroyed by battle or card effects. I combo this with Jowgen, and this combo specifically is like another Royal Tribute. Once you get that combo onto the field, your opponent will not be able to get anything onto that field that has to deal with special summoning. Again, this stuns and locks out the format. This is the other Royal Tribute. I don't understand why people aren't at least playing Jowgen. And the other card is Gaga's Shield. This combo is really good. It's devastating. It slows down the meta. It gives the power back to the Gravekeeper player and how the match is supposed to go. Because now it's basically your opponent has to fight your deck, not you fighting their deck. So I highly advise and advocate using Gaga Shield in combination with Jowgen and Trips. Period. It's the other aspect of the Gravekeeper deck that needs to be played, and it gives it a chance to fight the meta specifically. That's pretty much it. Side deck and next deck, that's up to y'all. But if you want to know, Soul Drain, Mind Drain macros, eradicate epidemic viruses, some malefic monsters, Cyber End, and Malefic Stardust. Evil Swarm Nightmare, really good. I advocate people play this guy. He's a Roach replacement. I play him over Roach because in this format there isn't a lot of inherent special summoning. And it's better if you play this guy over Roach and for specific matchups, in my opinion, because people aren't synchro summoning and Roach is like level 5 and higher and shit like that. Abyss Dweller, Crazy Box for the Eradicate Epidemic Virus combo, Black Ship of Corn, Maestro, Utopia, Papal Operative, Shockmaster, really good. I want to get another one of him, and I want to get Vylon Designia. He's the XYZ 3-star. He's the I'm going to steal your monster and suck it up, and then I can beat up shit on your field. Gemini Pearl, Wind Up Zenmeister, and Gaga Cowboy. This is a monster that this YouTuber called the GATEKEEPER. He's one of the dudes I follow, who plays Gravekeepers specifically, and he plays other decks, but he plays Gravekeepers mainly. And he says one of his XYZ monsters that he plays is this guy, I think Heraldic something. It's like an XYZ 3. It takes 3 monsters, and he's like a stun monster. Like, he stuns all XYZs in the field. He says it's pretty good, and then you can steal monsters' effects. And yeah, that's pretty good. I think XYZ or regular monsters. I need to check it out, but you know, I'm gonna test him out and see how it works out. Other than that, I'm using Vylon Designia in my real deck. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Peace.